Hey Pisces, and welcome to your October 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. Really incredible energy coming in for you. You are on sort of an evolutionary and transformative role right now. I hope you'll be able to check out last month's reading in September because I do sort of feel this to be a sequel reading and quite connected into some of the concepts that we were speaking about then. So I will link that reading up in the top right hand corner of this video and in the description box below. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the more grand energetic things happening to Pisces right now. You're not really where you thought you would be in October, maybe even this year in general. That might have sort of been an annual factor for Pisces of not really finding themselves where they expected, you know, whether that be locational or emotionally speaking. You saw yourself being somewhere else, but actually you can truly thrive where you currently are, but there's like a frustration. I do sense a frustration about maybe the people that have gathered around you or the way that things have changed, because I know there was a strong desire for change in Pisces coming from last year, but you kind of came into this year and the changes might have gotten a little bit out of control and things very suddenly shifted into something unexpected. And here you are still kind of in that phase of working with what was unexpected and turning that into something that you can thrive in, and seeing how much it has actually changed you. And I do feel that to be climaxing this month. This is the last full month of Jupiter in Scorpio. In November, it will move into Sag, which will also be strong for you, Pisces. But there's an emotional expansion, I feel, that needs to happen by October if it hasn't already happened. And I do think that there will be a sense of that increasing regardless of how much expansion you have had. So this is definitely a month where you can feel very sensitive. It might not be so encouraged to be around people who don't understand you or don't understand what is not good for you. I do feel that people can quite easily hurt your feelings this month, and I feel vice versa. You can also really rub salt in the wounds of others as well this month if you're not careful. It's easy to have falling outs this month. It's easy to see relationships that were on sort of a difficult path finally reach a point where it's inconsolable, or where you can't consolidate what you feel to be something good and, you know, make that be the center of the relationship. It's a month where difficult aspects or things which don't really feel wonderful do make themselves known. And that can be hard on Pisces, but you're also really good at this. Like, you can be very graceful when things become non-optimum. So what is that for you? Where is the energetic leak in your lives or in your relationships? They do need attention this month, because I feel that, you know, small things which feel like really small cracks in your experience can become very expanded this month. And it is sort of like the energy also of something being birthed into the world as well. So for those of you who are like expecting children, it's good to be prepared and good to, and I feel that going really well. For those of you who are like birthing something like physical or tangible into the world, like having a child or creating a new business, that's a really good channeling of this energy. It's more difficult for something non-tangible or something that's not really touchable in life, that you can't really hold, that is sort of coming in and making itself very known but is not quite real. That I feel to be what is difficult for a lot of Pisces this month, but it's your ultimate weapon as well, and that's sort of a trump card for Pisces. Is that which is difficult becomes a claim to the throne or a claim to more control in your life one way or another. So what do you need to take control of, and what control is exhibited on you right now? It does feel like a breaking free month for Pisces. So anyone who's trying to manipulate you or control you, I feel will not last long this month, or will not, they won't want to stay. And that's sort of an interesting thing. It's not that you're necessarily going to push them away. That could happen. But people who have been trying to control you for a long time are going to naturally detach this month. So it's really important for Pisces to not need that anymore. Sometimes Pisces, as a like very passive, mutable water sign, it's not that you want to be controlled, but there is a tendency, especially with Pisces and Cancer, to need to be held by something, or to need to be cradled, or to need to be embraced. And sometimes it can be hard for Pisces or Cancer to realize when that's actually become something that takes away your autonomy, or something that takes away the path that you needed, because the embrace feels so wonderful. So do prepare in the month of October to feel less embraced or less held, but only by those who would abuse that hold that they had on you. And that will be a good realization, I think, for you. As you might see some people detach, or you might see some people walk away, you'll realize, okay, that person was actually occupying a very toxic or codependent role in my life, and that was ultimately inhibiting me. That's a really important realization for Pisces, to understand that maybe things break away because it would have inhibited me in the future, not because I'm cursed or because I'm meant to live a painful life, are people walking away from me. Really sitting with that understanding of sort of a divine purpose or a divine reasoning of why something which might feel painful right now could really be your greatest ally, or your greatest claim in life, because maybe through someone walking away from you, you finally start to do the creative project, or you finally start to set your sights for the person who's actually right, or developing the relationship with yourself further by having some solitude. I do feel that solitude is quite nice this month, although it might be a little bit hard to find. But definitely a creative expansion. You have that wonderful Ace of Wands and Judgment upright and Queen of Swords. I love that direct row moving towards the end of the month. Truly logically transforming your creative ability, like really having a nice combination and enmeshment of logic and creativity is going to be such a windfall for you this month, I truly feel. And is going to help your endurance as well. I do feel that Pisces is a little bit winded or taxed or drained, as Nine of Wands reversed is your central theme, so you might not feel like you have the energy to push something through. You might want to start over or start on something new, but there is also a recommendation to, even if you do that, be continuing and finishing something that has been going for a long time. And how can you heal yourself or make yourself healthy enough to have the endurance to do that? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into the week to week so we can get some specific clarification on what might be the right choice to make to do this. Week number 1, you have Three of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by the Tower. Definitely the most important, I think, week of this month. This week in the 4th week for sure. Well, each week actually is quite empowering and very energetic for you. But in this week, you're seeing the people who've gathered around you. This is all about those attachments and the embrace that I was speaking of, and those embraces which are not right for you, and those which need to fall out. And this is where I'm getting the feeling that this representation of the Tower in this specific reading is actually very positive, because I'm sensing that it really forces the people who are not good for you to fall out, or the people who have been causing destruction to be unable to do that now. And I do sense Pisces being able to be very distraught by that. Like, you see these people fall away and you're like, oh my gosh, I needed these people in my life and now they're gone. Not for all of you are people going to leave. For some of you, this could also represent a reforming of the foundation of what you want in life. Three of Pentacles is about sort of the energy of apprenticeship, so learning new skills and really committing yourself to a craft. There could be a shift there. There could be a new desire to pop up, and that would be nice to follow. I think that would be a nice thing to allow yourself, is a nice sudden shift on what you're devoting time to, even if it's just your free time for now. But again, for the higher percentile of Pisces, I do feel that this is people who are helping you, who feel like your team, your support network, potentially not being what you expected them to be. And the importance that I keep needing to communicate from the universe is that it's meant to be. It's meant for these people to fall away because they would have abused their position next to you had they not done so. So allow that in the first week, with the understanding that maybe they can come back if they have their own transformations. But whatever loneliness you encounter or solitude is important for your own transformation here. Week number 2, you have Queen of Swords rooted down by Queen of Wands. So a very strong evolution and transformation of the feminine yin aspects of yourself. Interesting to see fire and air energy coming up. We don't have any water court cards, or really actually water energy period. There are no cups cards either. So you are definitely recommended to detach a little bit from the water nature here. And that may not be completely possible. We've got a lot of water energy, Jupiter in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces, and, you know, different things here and there. But I think that that's been so watery for you, and so just suspended, that it's good to think about other qualities and other elements. Great to be around feminine air or fire signs to really boost your confidence, boost your popularity, and your mentality as well. Important to think logically and to think creatively, to laugh, to have humor, to understand what needs to be in your life with sort of a logical bearing versus an emotional bearing. You're not going to be able to deny those emotional bearings with the current transits in place, but you're so called to think about it from other perspectives and truly sense a comfort in options, a comfort in multiple perspectives, even if you can't really make a decision. Pisces can get a bit overwhelmed when there are a lot of options or a lot of decisions and sort of linger in the decision-making process. It's not about making a decision, but it's about feeling comfort in knowing that there are options. So week number 3, Judgment rooted down by Page of Wands. Huge creative transformation again. That is probably one of the most important themes of this reading, is the creative transformation happening within you. You're going to feel an awakening of creative energy. So for those of you who are artists or creatives, even if you're an accountant or something that might not be stereotypically considered creative, there's going to be a creative uprising in whatever it is that you do that makes you enjoy what you do more, and also perhaps desire a change. Again, this is another shifting type of energy where you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to do this. And even if you feel like that scatters your life, it's really important that you do something relating to that. Even if you're not, changing your lifestyle to fit that, allow yourself to dabble. I feel like this is a really good energy for dabbling in something new, or thinking about what other options there could be. Also a good health transformation as well. I sense you having more energy, building that endurance in the 3rd week, because Page of Wands is such a young, fiery energy. So it's, to me, it's like a globe-trotting energy, it's a crafty energy, and it's an ambitious and desireful energy, if that's a word. So what has inhibited you from being this before, Pisces? Could it have been those people that were around you? Could it have been being directed towards a career that was never right and sort of taking away from you that need? You're seeing that from that falling out in the beginning of October, or even the earlier parts of the year, truly is a blessing, because it helps you to look within and it helps you see more of a blank area and be able to fill that with some wonderful fiery energy. And moving into the 4th week, Ace of Wands rooted down by 10 of Swords. Okay, I kind of really like how the photo distorted part of 10 of Swords. I think that that's really magical, because it really directs that energy up into the Ace of Wands. I've been here before. Pisces is very aware of 10 of Swords energy and very aware of that feeling of betrayal and that ending phase. Pisces is sort of a 10 of Swords energy. You're the last sign of the zodiac, and the 10 of Swords is the last card of the Swords suit. So it is sort of representative of you and representative of a minor arcana version of death. And Pisces is representative of this as well. So you have a strong connection with that archetype. But it's time for you to rise above it, and it's time for you to allow that to blur out of your life and maybe manifest that into an Ace of Wands energy, a new creative project, a new desire, a new ambition. Allow yourself to be a bit ambitious, a bit passionate about something, because that's been a little bit hard for Pisces. You've been very sullen lately and very unhealthy. I'm just going to put it out there, because some of you have had to work on the health, even if it's not physical health. But this is just the perfect opportunity in October, in the entirety of October, to allow what inhibits you and taxes you to fall, and to rebuild what that represented for you and emerge healthily once more. 9 of Wands reversed is your central theme, so it tells me that all of these things which have held you back, that we keep talking about, does actually stem from a deep interior lack of energy or lack of passion, lack of ability to follow through. Okay, and that's sort of like a chicken or the egg type of situation. Did other people cause that? Is it something that is just a natural tendency? You are healing that this month. You are healing that, like, I get so close, but I can't quite make it thing, to where you can have enough energy from the beginning, from the get-go, to follow through and to conclude on that which you start. So really beautiful energy for October, Pisces. My last sort of thought that I feel needs to come through is again a reminder to not think too emotionally this month. You have to a little bit. You have to a little bit with all of the water energy. But it's interesting to see that with all of that, there is such a lack of water in your life. It's like maybe through having been so connected to that, it's sort of pervaded the reality, or it's sort of gotten out of what you're actually manifesting in. So maybe switch that up a little bit. You know, you see yourself as a more of Queen of Wands or Queen of Swords type of energy, and then you start to see the water energy manifest in a much more healthy way, and really beautiful, really beautiful. I'm really excited to see what November has in store for you guys, because I feel for all the water signs that these last, you know, September, October, November of the last part of Jupiter in Scorpio is very formidable and very transformative and really benevolent too, if we can allow ourselves to experience it in that way. Anyway, Pisces, it's been an honor to be here and an honor to read for you. Check the description box below. I am on Patreon. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter and reach out if you would like to have a private reading. I also give these readings early and ad-free on Patreon. If you could get a chance to check that out, that should be in the center of your screen. Your subscriptions, likes, and comments on YouTube mean the world to me and are very helpful in gaining the ground that I need to keep this up. So comment below on how this energy was for you, and if you have any suggestions for your fellow Pisces on navigating this energy, I will be looking forward to reading those comments. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Much love. Bye.